People often say to me now, they go, Adam, now that you're retiring from comedy, what are you going to do for a living? Isn't that hilarious? Like I've been raking it in all these years, paying off my mortgage and drink tickets. I've always had a day job. I've always worked during the day. My favorite job that I've had, for a couple years, I was a temp at a temp agency. Thank you for getting the irony of that. I was a temp at a temp agency. It's like being the sluttiest whore at the whorehouse who barely charges. I was making $12 an hour helping people find jobs where they could make $15 an hour. That was basically my job. And we would coach them on like interview skills and what to wear, which I was very qualified to help them with. And we would try to find like tips online. We found this hiring survey. They asked hiring managers, they did a huge survey and they asked them, what's the worst word you can say in the job interview? What's the one word that'll get you thrown out of the interview? It turns out the word is like. Because young people, millennials, overuse that word. They'll come into the interview, they'll say, well, like, in my last job, I was, like, really awesome. I'm, like, really detail-oriented. I, like, supervise, like, 3 people. You should, like, totally, like, hire me. And they sound like fucking idiots, and they don't get the job. So according to this survey, like is the worst word you can say during the job interview. I would have thought cunt. If they had surveyed me, cunt would have been higher on the list of words not to say. But no, you can go in for the job interview apparently, and you can say my last boss was a cunt, and still get the job. But if you say she was like a cunt, you're out. We used to have fun at the temp agency looking at all the fucked up names that would be on people's resumes, because there's a lot of weird names nowadays, just bizarre names. The weirdest one we ever saw, we thought we were being punked. The person's first name was Swastika. I'm not making this up. We were like, come on, swastika? But it turns out that she was from India, and swastika is a rather common name in India because the symbol, the swastika, is an Indian symbol. It's ancient. It was around for centuries. It was not a hateful or an anti-Semitic symbol. Hitler stole that symbol and turned it into this horrible thing and flipped it around too. And like, I get that, and I would never want to insult someone's culture, but I kind of wanted to sit down with swastika and say, swastika, you're in New York now, and you're interviewing for jobs at companies that are probably owned by Jews. You might want to change that name, shorten it a little bit. You know, maybe Swasi, or Tika, or Sticka. Sticka, please. But, you know, I just don't think that swastika is the best name for you to have. And the fact that your last name is Fucktikikes really doesn't help the situation.